If you were cheering when Deshaun Watson was hurt on the field, you're a fucking scumbag.
Yeah.
I don't care that he's not good at his job at quarterback. Because trust me, I am not a fan of Deshaun Watson. I have bitched about him incessantly on this show all season and probably beyond that. But you cannot, in the lowest moment of somebody's fucking life, be cheering at their pain. It is a terrible look as a fan. It gives the fan base and think that you can't fucking wash away. Now, it is not everybody that was doing this. I believe this is a small segment of fans that were being fucking hard-hearted. It's just unacceptable. Okay?
It was completely disgusting.
It is disgusting. You cannot do that.
I'll say this. Given the current situation of the Browns and how bad that things have been there, and the feeling that a lot of Browns fans have around Deshaun Watson being the bad guy, if I were to put myself in that moment, in the shoes of those fans, I could see myself being one of those people, and definitely scumbaggy move. And I would probably reflect on it later and be like, man, that was really fucked of me. Being a guy that had a very terrible leg injury,
right,
playing football and understanding not only the physical but the mental pain that goes along with it and everything, like, it's very tough to go through. I'm sure he was going through it on the field, and to hear like cheers, like it's pretty fucking terrible. But in an emotional moment as a fan, I could see people doing it who aren't necessarily. It's a scumbag thing to do, but I don't know that necessarily all of them are scumbags. There certainly are people out there who are.
There were people that were definitely scumbags. There were people that followed echoes. There were people that didn't do it. Yes, all of those things are 100% true. Now, some of the things that were said later on are also unequivocally false. Like, you can't necessarily defend the character of Deshaun Watson because he's not necessarily the greatest person. We've seen all sorts of cases come out to say maybe contrary that he's not the greatest person, like he is a victim. He's not a victim. He's created a terrible image for himself. That does not give you the right to cheer somebody's downfall. And if you are one of the people who is touting karma finally showed up, you are, and I'm trying to find the hard-hearted is a really funny way to say the word that we're not allowed to say. If you think that karma just happens like that, you don't know how karma works. You cheering that something bad happened to somebody, is there not karma attached to that fucking action, you moron? Maybe the karma that you're going to receive for cheering somebody's pain is that your football team is going to perpetually suck dick at football. It doesn't make any sense. There is no good way to be like, oh yeah, you cannot cheer somebody's injury. Now, with that being said, Deshaun Watson was not playing starting level quarterback, and he needed to be sat down. This is not at all how I wanted him to be sat down. What I wish would have happened is that somebody in the organization actually had a nutsack and would have said, you know what? He doesn't provide us the best chance to win. We have to do what's best for the team and what is best for winning. But that didn't happen. Nobody had any fucking intestinal fortitude to say, we made a mistake. So what they did is they just kept sending him out there, not changing shit. And he got beat the fuck up. Of course that was going to happen. We didn't change anything. The organization failed him. Deshaun is not a victim, but you cannot fucking cheer his injury. And karma continues to work. Like, everything about this situation was completely fucking wrong and fucked up. I am very glad that Deshaun Watson is not playing quarterback for the Browns. I am not glad that he got hurt. I don't know where this season turns, but I'm assuming it's going to be a lot of bad football turned into picks, hopefully several more picks, because I don't want to draft a quarterback and bring him into this same fucking situation. We got to build this team up because we are so far away from being competitive. And right now, who's going to want to come here to
I
be?
agree 100%. 100% with that, with what you just said, because like we talked about earlier, Detroit Lions our culture was the same thing. People used to say things like, "Oh, you go play for Detroit, that's where careers go to die," and stuff like that, right? So you have to change the culture if you want to change the outcome of the games and the overall mentality. But that culture, no, I think you hit the nail right on the head, Mike. Like you don't prey on somebody else's downfall. I can dislike a person as a player. Like, for example, Aaron Rodgers, not a fan. I am not a fan of Aaron Rodgers whatsoever. I'm not sitting here saying, "Oh, I wish he goes outside and gets hit by a bus." I want him to get beat on the field. I don't want the person to be personally actually injured, right? So, and people have to understand, like, it's a sport. We still have to be humane. We still have to have some sort of decency, right? And we also have the next generation. We got kids that are looking at how we as adults are carrying ourselves and acting. So if our children go out and do something like this, you're the first person trying to knock them upside their head. But then we as adults, we think that it's okay collectively as a mob to just go out. Oh, he got injured. He's down for the count. Oh, well, we're just going to beat him. You know what I'm saying? We're going to just kick him while he's down. That's bullshit.
I mean, you want to boo him for playing bad, boo him for playing bad.
Right.
They decided to bench him and you cheer that they benched him. That's acceptable too, but not when there's an injury.
Right.
It takes it across the line. Eva, where are you at?
I mean, it's the same thing, man. Like I said, I would like to think that I'm magnanimous and that I'm that kind-hearted of a person. I wouldn't be the type of person cheering in that situation. But I know human emotion will make you do stupid things sometimes. But Devin brings up a really good point. Like we are the adults here. All of us are grown men. You have to worry about those around you, especially children and stuff like that are watching, and the examples that we're setting for them about how to be better people with that. And I'm sure there's people there at the game drinking alcohol, probably involved too, making them do stupid stuff. Like I can find all the excuses and everything like that. I would like to think that the Cleveland fans aren't that bad with the situation, and I don't think they are. I think they carry their lumps just like every single fan base does. But that being said, it is now something that is kind of a positive opportunity for you, Mike, and your team to look forward to what the rest of the season kind of has to offer. Playoff aspirations are probably out the window, and I just don't know what's more important to you: seeing good football or some good product on the field, or kind of working your way towards a better draft pick at this point. Because look, Jameis Winston.
I need to see competent quarterback play for at least a few games so I can see where the problem lies. Was it with the quarterback? Is the line so bad that no quarterback can be good at it? Is the receivers? Is it truly the scheme? Fuck, I don't even know if the scheme's going to stay the same now that Jameis is coming in. It would make more sense to go to a more Stefanski style scheme with Jameis coming in, a more pro style scheme. So I don't even know, but I need to see at least some competent quarterback play so I know where the fuck to go from here. And I'm sure that everybody in the Browns organization feels the same way, because regardless of what I said about Deshaun, he was playing terrible fucking quarterback. It was awful. Like, it was the worst in the goddamn league. He should not have been playing. So that's where we have to start. All we can do now is move forward. We'll see where all this shit shakes out, but I now have a different lens on every Sunday when I'm watching the Browns. It's who stays, who goes, where do we need improvements? It's not wins and losses at this point. It's all evaluation for me, because there's going to be guys that got to get moved.
Yeah.